we come to a nation that is at once very young and very old. Pakistan, formerly a part of British India, is today a sovereign, growing country. Like its Indian neighbor, an important link between Europe to the west and Asia to the east. This young nation is one of the largest countries of the world. The portion of Pakistan which adjoins Iran is only a part of this new state. For many hundreds of miles to the east lies a second area that is also an integral part of the Pakistan Republic. Pakistan's capital city of Karachi boasts the largest airport in Asia and is one of Asia's most important seaports. Through this port have come many millions of dollars of United States military equipment. An independent state for scarcely 10 years, the Pakistans are determined to maintain that independence which for centuries remained little more than a dream. Since World War II, the United States has distributed some $11 billion in military aid to friendly nations in every part of the world. The purpose of that aid is to lend free nations the military strength necessary to maintain their freedom and independence. Americans think of themselves as a young nation, yet in a sense we are very old, for America has lived in the age of technology longer than any nation on earth. From Brooklyn, USA to Karachi, Pakistan is a vast distance both in space and in time. By our efforts to span this distance, we assure a peaceful future for both this young nation and our own. A military assistance advisory group is the basic field organization through which our Department of Defense administers its share of America's mutual security programs. The responsibilities of each MAAG are largely determined by the agreement between the United States and the host country. Generally, they will include determination of the country's military requirements and furnishing advice to facilitate proper utilization of the material received. The training of foreign military personnel is also a frequent contribution. Here, Major Joel A. Levenstein of the United States Army Signal Corps briefs a group of Pakistan Army enlisted men on the use of a new United States military radio set. The first military assistance advisory groups, as we know them today, were organized in Greece and Turkey in 1949. There were two such advisory missions in Pakistan's neighbor, Iran, by the year 1942. Today, there are MAAG missions in 73 countries, and we are assisting with the training of over 200 military divisions throughout the world. Today, such missions have vastly increased duties, and they supervise and administer the deployment of the most advanced forms of military equipment to all parts of the globe. Often the specialists assigned to a MAAG mission find themselves making tankers or jet pilots of men who grew up in a land where the always present camel was the most efficient means of transportation. The Middle East is extremely poor in most natural resources, but those it has are vital. The oil reserves of this area are estimated to include 60% of the world's total, almost twice as much as the oil-rich United States. Its location is strategic. The Suez Canal, like the Panama Canal, is a waterway of great importance. A dispute over this canal has recently convulsed most of the civilized world. Remote as it may once have seemed, the Middle East is in reality the crossroads of the world, linking Europe, Asia, and Africa. Air routes depend on refueling bases here, as would our strategic aircraft in time of war. Here stand 100 million people who cannot be allowed to pass under communist domination. These people occupy an area from whence sprang the three great religions of modern times. They are our people who, as the Lion of Judah warned us many years before the last war, must be allowed to retain their freedom if we are to keep our own. Strange, far off, and exotic as the Middle Eastern countries once seemed to us here in America, we have come to realize that their destiny and ours are tightly bound together. Ancient Greece, Rome, and the great powers of Europe all came to know that there could be no peace for them without peace in the Middle East. Today, we are doing everything in our power to keep the peace in that vital area. Now, this is Sergeant Stuart Queen, inviting you to be with us again next week for another look at your Army in action on The Big Picture.
The Big Picture is a weekly television report to the nation on the activities of the Army at home and overseas. Produced by the Army Pictorial Center, presented by the United States Army in cooperation with this station. You too can be an important part of the big picture. You can proudly serve with the best equipped, the best trained, the best fighting team in the world today, the United States Army.